Hey, I am Michael Ward, and you are now tuned into my show. I don't have a name for this yet, but I'd like to think of this as a conversation between you and I. It's going to be real intimate. I'm going to be talking about things that really matter to me, things that come from the heart, things that I'm really passionate about. So if you like the video, if you are listening to me, subscribe, tell your friends about this, and let me know how you feel about it. And let me know as well how you've been dealing with loneliness during this time. I feel with the passing of the giant Andre Leon Talley and watching his documentary and this really big life, right? And getting to travel the world and see so many important places and people and things and living this life that he was passionate about. He also said that he had never experienced romantic love and partnership. And it was possibly because he put his career over love. And in a lot of ways, that really resonated with me and made me sit with myself and ask myself the questions that are hard to answer when it comes to being alone in partnership as a Black gay man. Questions like, have I chosen my career over love? Oof, it's a tough one. And it's also one that I really grapple with because I'm 35 years old. But one of the things that stands out to me is when I was maybe 14 or 15, I remember having a conversation with my best friend. We're still best friends. Shout out to my best friend. If you're um, checking this out, 20 years of friendship, just shameless plug there. I remember having a conversation with him that I'm going to be really successful and I'm going to be by myself. And I really now had to sit with the question of, did I choose my career over love? And was that kind of a self fulfilling prophecy up until this moment? At that point in my life, I had not really experienced being Black and gay and the fullness of what that meant of being Black and gay and really seeing Black gay men that were in partnership at that time. I read about it, in the life, Elin Harris, James R. Hardy, a lot of these novels that I had to sneak and read, um, but I had not experienced it in real time. At the end of 2020, I really sat with my therapist unpacking this. And one of the things that she said was that you need to take a break because 2020 was one of my most visible years. And I worked really hard on top of professionally working because it was a time when so many opportunities were coming to me. And I was on the verge of burnout. And my therapist recommended that I go to Miami because I absolutely love water. And Miami is one of my hideaways. And she said that you need to rest. You need to really take a break and rest. So here I am in Miami at the end of 2020, the only place that I can rest because I wasn't sleeping well at the time. And I realized that I've done a lot of the things that I'm very passionate about, and I have no one to share it with. Um, I'm not in partnership with anyone. And I hadn't really created a space or made time for a partner. And something had to change. So here's a few things that changed. One, I had to be really intentional. Um, One, I had to be really intentional about my time and creating space and making time within my schedule to date and get to know people and put myself out there. But we're still in the midst of a pandemic. So, how do I do all of this? So, I also had to find methods of um, keeping myself safe while I dated. And so, that was an interesting ride and experience. And I did end up dating for most of 2021 and having a really great time and really enjoying it, although it didn't work out. I loved the experience of saying that I can do things that I'm really passionate about, that I really care about and I love. And I'm dating somebody who understands me and understands what I do. And we make time, we make space for each other. And it was a really, really great experience. And like I said, although it didn't work out, I'm looking forward to doing it again and looking forward to what that looks like in the future. But I realize too, as much as I'm telling anyone who can hear me, um, I'm also telling myself that this kind of serves as a mirror to myself that I have to remind myself and be intentional and choose every day to wake up and love myself because I feel self love is a continual journey for me. But I've also had to learn and am learning how to give myself that same space and grace and take those words to heart. So those moments that I do feel lonely and I make terrible decisions, um, I call it draking. I get a little bottle of tequila and I start drunk dialing or drunk texting, and it hasn't always ended the best. A lot of it was my loneliness. And I give myself space and grace as I go through this pandemic to make better decisions. Those are just a few of the ways that I have coped, and I'm actively coping with my loneliness through COVID. And this as well is going to serve as a way for me to kind of fend some of those feelings of loneliness off as we continue to have these conversations. So I just thank you and I appreciate you for listening, for making it this far, for telling people about this, for liking, subscribing, and following all of these episodes as we move forward with it. So again, I invite you to be in on the conversation with me. So let me know some of the ways that you've been coping through loneliness with this. So thank you. I'm Michael Ward, and be good to yourself. Until next time.